Good evening. So my name is, for those that don't know me, my name is John Fazackerley. It's my privilege to be the Dean of the Faculty of Veterinary and Agricultural Sciences. And we have many valued supporters and industry representatives here this evening. And it's my great pleasure to welcome you all. A very warm welcome, especially to those that I've seen on a number of occasions before. Michael, please. Thank you. Okay. So thanks for coming. And we have some wine and some food, and we'll go back to those. I'd like to just spend a few minutes in welcoming you, telling you a little bit about the Faculty of Veterinary and Agricultural Sciences. So as a faculty, and I know a number of you are alumni, and you will have spent some time at Dookie or maybe at Parkville, and you will have been in other colleges or other faculties or other schools, the Melbourne School of Land and Environment or Dookie College as it was, or Mount Derrimut. And I've even met a few people from other universities here. So anyway, welcome to everybody. But let me tell you about our modern day faculty, which is a Faculty of Veterinary and Agricultural Sciences. And we do teaching and research and engagement across the whole area of agriculture, food, and veterinary sciences. So our remit is quite broad. We have much to do in contributing to training the next generation of leaders in those areas. We aim to train the leaders in agriculture, the leaders in food science, and the leaders in veterinary science and medicine. We do a lot, of course, in research, and we also do a lot in engagement, and we engage with many different communities, be they people who wish to co-invest with us in research, or people that wish to commission policy work from us, or industry partners that we work with. So we do a lot of engagement. The work that we do in the faculty is really to ensure a sustainable and nutritionally secure future. And that's important in the modern world. And there are not too many faculties, I feel, at the University of Melbourne who really have a role in the modern world in the way that we do. The world's population is increasing. We have 7 billion people. We'll soon have 10 billion people. We need to secure our nutritional security. We need to secure our food supplies. And we need to do so against changing environment. The environment is changing undoubtedly, and surely the climate is changing too. We want to ensure that we have healthy air, healthy water, healthy soil, healthy plants, healthy animals, healthy food, and healthy humans. And so our remit in the faculty that we hang our hook on around our training and our research is One Health, looking at the health of all of those different systems, which ultimately lead to healthy plants, healthy animals, healthy food, and healthy humans. So tonight is an opportunity to meet our new head of the School of Agriculture and Food. We have within the faculty two schools, the Melbourne Veterinary School, it's a graduate school, and the School of Agriculture and Food. And the new head of the School of Agriculture and Food is my colleague, Professor Herbert Kronzucker. I'm going to tell you a little bit about his background. Professor Kronzucker joined the University of Melbourne in 2017 as head of the School of Biosciences. And he came to us from the University of Toronto in Canada, where he'd worked for 16 years. And he maintains his recognition there as a distinguished professor for his research in plant biology. He's the founding director of the Canadian Centre for World Hunger Research, and he's the editor-in-chief of one of the foremost journals in plant biology, the Journal of Plant Physiology. Herbert obtained his doctorate working on the cell biology of nitrogen fluxes in plants from the University of British Columbia, also in Canada, and conducted postdoctoral studies on nitrogen dynamics in tropical lowland rice as a Rockefeller Human Frontier Fellow at the International Rice Research Institute, which I believe is in the Philippines. Yep, in the Philippines. Herbert has a strong international standing across the world for his work and as a leader. This is recognized in many different ways. His membership of different review panels, of editorial boards. He gives advice to places like the International Rice Research Institute, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. He held a prestigious Canada Research Chair. He received the Principal's Research Award at the University of Toronto. He has a Lifetime Achievement Award from the University of Laval, a Science for Better Life Award from Bayer, Canada, and was recently awarded an honorary professorship from Shanghai Jiao Tong University in China. Please welcome Professor Herbert Kronzucker.
Well, welcome to everybody here tonight. Many of you I've had the privilege of meeting previously during our Dookie Day celebrations a couple of months ago. It makes me dizzy to listen to my own resume here. I should stop John from doing this. So this evening is not really supposed to be about me at all, even though it says it's a welcome for the new head of school, but it's really about you. It's about the alumni. It's about the supporters. It's about our industry partners in agriculture and in food. You can also be interested in the veterinary school, but I'm not going to speak to that. That's tomorrow night, I believe. It's about agriculture and it is about food. I myself am a farm boy. I grew up on a small farm in southern Germany many, many years ago. And those memories have never left my bones. In fact, this afternoon I had a surprise visit from one of my cousins who inherited that farm. Showing up at my head of school door, just a couple of buildings away. So it's quite topical with 3 friends of his in a caravan. They're touring Australia and they're all excited. So, yeah. And we were comparing notes. And we said, well, is the farm still, the size that it was? And yeah, sure enough, it's a 22-hectare farm. So
Big time.
Big time, isn't it, Michael? So I proudly announced that our Dookie farm was 2,440 hectares, did with 8,600 sheep there, 180 dairy cows, and so he was just flabbergasted at the difference in scale, in scope, in ambition, in mission. I took him around this campus and I showed him some of the old buildings and some of the new, all the way from the Cancer Center that's just across from here, and the old arches, and they were blown away by what Melbourne was as a university, what Melbourne is as a city. And it was actually the first time, and I noticed this afternoon, that I was able to show off my new home to someone from my original country, and it happened to be the farm boy who had inherited the farm. So it was particularly a special occasion for me. I came back to agriculture in a very circuitous way. I had a brief career in music, of all things. I was a concert violinist for a while. I studied medicine as well, and chemistry and biology. And then did fairly well in the fundamental biological sciences in research. And that's what brought me to Melbourne in the first instance. It was not to head up agriculture and food, actually. I was brought over to unite a fairly fractured School of Biosciences that was the amalgamation result of 3 former schools with their own histories and their own cultures in zoology, in botany, and in genetics, and unite them under one roof as a School of Biosciences. And it still fills me with goosebumps to think about what we did over there. I think we did an awfully good job leading a school and bringing it to unison. And highlighting its excellence. And then when John approached me about the potential leadership of the School of Agriculture and Food that had been just as new as biosciences was, I didn't hesitate. It was closer to my roots. The days on the farm, all of it came back. And in fact, the deal was essentially consolidated when John took me to the Dookie farm that one day and handed me over to the head farmer, to Ashley Gabler. And Ashley took me around and showed me every single place that he thought was exciting about Dookie, and told me about the vision that he had for that campus and where he felt things should be going. And I talked about the things that I thought agriculture at Melbourne should be and could be. And I saw both the rediscovery of my farm boy heritage when talking to Ash, and this other side of my long career as a fundamental scientist that saw where the blobs of excellence are at a university like this one. It really does deserve to be called Australia's #1. And agriculture and food is right now in the right place and the right time, and I think it's under the right leadership to move right along with the strongest components that the University of Melbourne has on offer. Whether those be in the fundamental biosciences and the chemical sciences, whether they be in engineering or the medical sciences, we see I see as a new leader intersections that had not hitherto been explored, that we will develop mechanisms to explore. New positions that are joint between faculties, Faculty of Engineering and ours, the Faculty of Medical, Dental and Health Sciences and ours, joint positions. Joint activities with the Faculty of Science, development of new smart fertilizers with the chemists on this campus and the engineers on this campus, not just the scholars within our school. And a part of that is a rejuvenation of our staff contingent. We've made some truly exciting hires over the last few months that I'm very, very excited about. One of them is in precision agriculture, a modern field that we needed to become a part of at Melbourne. And we got one of the finest in the world to join us from Spain. And he's building these bridges now that we're not just talking about and dreaming of with engineering, but they're really happening. He just bought an airplane. It's the first thing he did. 2 days on our campus, and he already joined us on a trip to Dookie. So he understands the importance of an agriculture and food faculty that isn't just an urban enterprise in an innovation precinct that is perhaps second to none, or at least second to very few, but that has a hands-on immersive teaching experience possibility on a rural campus that certainly knocked my cousin's socks off. And it still knocks mine off when I think about what that place could be, even though it's such a phenomenal seeming 2 to 2.5 hours away. So the possibilities and the potential for agriculture and food is what excited me. And I think the recent steps we have taken in the hires that we have made that increase our internationalism, that increase our intersections with other domains of excellence within the university, that recognize that a reinvigoration of our Dookie asset is a critical component of moving forward. I think all of these position us at this time in the development of agricultural sciences at Melbourne as potentially the very best in the Southern Hemisphere. So my hope is that all of you will support us in this journey of truly becoming the best and making contributions to global food security and the profitability of Australian farmers, and to increase the know-how of all the things that modern science, that modern knowledge can produce, to bring us into the coming decades that John talked about, with the challenges of a growing human population hurtling towards 10 billion. Shortage of land, shortage of water, salinization and erosion of soils, the disappearance of soils everywhere around the world, including in Australia, to erosion. That in these tremendous challenges that we must apply ourselves as University of Melbourne contingent in agriculture and food sciences at the very highest level of dedication that we can. That's what I'm committed to. And my hope is that all of you here this evening, and the ones you do know that are not here this evening, but you can talk to, will help us build. So let's talk, continue the conversation beyond tonight. And I hope you're going to be coming back many, many, many more times to see what that vision really is. It isn't just words. We're putting actions behind the words. So let's discuss tonight, and let's discuss beyond tonight, a future for agriculture and food that can include all the ones that have been through the halls of the University of Melbourne in the past, in the recent past, the distant past, and the ones that are here now. So welcome tonight, and I'm looking forward to getting to speak with everyone that I haven't already spoken to, and even some of the ones I already have spoken to, like you, Michael. There will certainly be more.
I'm a mousy little man.
Yeah. So thank you very much for coming tonight. Thank you.